Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Insightful Principles. My name is Kevin Jenkins, and this will be the last episode in 2021. And wanted to touch in with you guys and really give you my investment outlook for 2022. Some of the things that I'm looking forward to going into the new year with finances, and also wanting to educate you all so you can stay prepared and so you can be able to make the proper decisions to navigate through these markets. So throughout this video, I'm going to go over just some sectors that I'm going to be particularly watching for in 2022. Just kind of recapping also some of the things that we've seen this year throughout the stock market with crypto and a lot of the things that we have seen just with our economy. And hopefully all of this could be very beneficial for you all to be able to take this information and apply it going into 2022. So let's go ahead and get started. So as we have already seen in 2021, there was a lot of things that happened this year. Particularly, we seen a lot of money being printed from the Federal Reserve. We seen the tremendous expansion with their balance sheet. We also seen inflation hit its highest level in 40 years. And we seen a lot of just supply chain constraints through a lot of parts of the world, as well as a lot of the COVID uncertainty. It still has been a lot with that as well. And the total amount printed in 2021 totaled $13 trillion, and 5.2 trillion of that went towards COVID costs. 4.5 trillion was in quantitative easing, where quantitative easing is when the Federal Reserve will buy treasury securities in the market to add new money into the economy. So there was a lot of different periods where the Fed was going in, buying whether it's treasury bonds, and they were trying to propel more money into the economy. And that's really what the Federal Reserve, one of their tools is whenever they are wanting to put an expansion of the money supply, this is one tool that they'll use. Now, we also seen $3 trillion that went to the infrastructure bill. And then also, I mentioned with inflation being at its highest level in 40 years, the CPI index, the consumer price index, soared to 6.8% over the year in November. So we definitely had seen that a lot of prices for just groceries, gas, just cost of living, utilities, electric, rent, all of those things skyrocketed. So I think that's one thing to really focus on going into next year, to see really how the CPI numbers are going to pan out for December going into January. That's one thing that I am looking for. A lot of the growth also comes from what we have seen with the blockchain protocols supporting smart contracts, particularly in the decentralized finance space. And then the smart contract protocols around NFTs really showed its dominance in 2021. And I feel that that will continue in 2022 because there are a lot of great NFT platforms that have really shined. When you look at, CryptoPunks, NBA Top Shop, you look at what's going on with Bored Apes, Monkey Cyclops. There's a lot of changes, and there's a lot of things being shifted within the NFT space where people are really putting value around digital collectibles. And it's really about social signaling and building a community online is why I see people will continue to use NFTs and how they're going to build experience around NFTs as far as having an events around an NFT, having speaking engagements surrounding an NFT, possibly writing a book and using an NFT. So there's a lot of great things that an NFT can represent in the community that you can create and an experience you can provide for your particular audience or whoever you're selling your product or service to. We also seen a lot of digital sites that did very well using DeFi protocols. When you look at MetaMask, you look at Rarible, OpenSea, and there was just a lot of things or surrounding like music, tweets, digital land titles that were sold as an NFT. So there's a lot more growth that I see that's going to transform and continue to get bigger and better. And also, I feel like this is the very beginning with NFTs. And then when you look into that being added into the metaverse is also going to be another way of how people can be able to create an experience or value online virtually, where you can use NFTs and you can use these different blockchain protocols that will be decentralized. So I definitely think there's a lot of growth for NFTs, and I think that the metaverse is going to be really something to watch in 2022, to see what Facebook, now Meta, what they'll do. Even, seeing if Apple is going to get involved with the metaverse. I think they are a great leader that can really put themselves in position to be able to add some value to the metaverse. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this continues to evolve. When you think about the land tokens such as Decentraland, you look at Sandbox. A lot of these are tokens that I'm really going to be paying a lot of attention to. So as far as my outlook for 2022, I definitely think that there will be a correction with the stock market. I'm to make a guess, I would say somewhere around 10 to 15%, and that's mainly because of potential, higher interest rate hikes. We've already had the Fed come out and say that they plan to do their tapering and looking at ways to increasing interest rates because of inflation. Of course, inflation is not going anywhere. A lot of times, the media and the Fed is trying to portray a message that is going to cut back down. We've seen the highest as far as the maximum level of where it can go. But I definitely think when you see just the cost of living going up, the cost of just buying basic necessities to put in your fridge and things to put around your home with household products, those things are going to continue to go up. Usually in volatile and turbulent times, it's good to focus a portion of your portfolio in sectors such as utilities, which these things focus on, like gas, water, electricity, that people are going to need no matter what is happening in the economy. Consumer staples is another great sector. These are goods that people will buy out of necessity, regardless of economic conditions. So you have like food, beverages, hygiene products, household items. These companies tend to provide steady cash flows and income during a strong and a weak economy. Now, healthcare is one sector that I'm also going to be paying a lot of attention to in 2022, specifically healthcare equipment and supplies. When you think about a hospital, you think about all of the equipment that goes to actually servicing a patient. It's really $1 billion industry. And when I think about companies like Stryker, there's so many great companies in the medical equipment space where, I just want to find, a great ETF that gives me the flexibility of a lot of different companies in one index that mirror this particular industry. So I definitely think the medical supplies is one thing to really keep your eyes on with medical equipment, and also healthcare providers and services. I think that with people, with everything with the landscape of COVID, people are still catching COVID, and that's still going to provide a reason for why the healthcare industry is going to continue to excel. But just beyond, COVID, people are going to have to use medical services. They're going to have to go to the doctor. So it's a great way to be able to play, your portfolio in a particular sector where you can get some exposure and have a defensive approach. I think apartment REITs is another great sector that I want to pay some attention to, because people always need shelter, and REITs are very good at providing income. And REITs are a real estate investment trust, and they tend to be a little bit safer as far as apartment REITs in comparison to like an office building or even an industrial park, because those typically can default with a lease. But when you have an apartment REIT, someone's always going to have to pay their rent, and you can be able to find ways to generate income for your portfolio with investing in an apartment REIT. So that's definitely another sector that I plan to focus on for 2022. The outlook for 2022 is going to be able to search for value and income, because we are going to have some correction. This bull run is not just going to continue to happen, and you want to be able to structure your portfolio where you're still maintaining gains and you're able to keep a lot of the value in your portfolio. The rule to investing is you don't want to lose money. You think about a person like Warren Buffett. He became so successful because he focused his investments in defensive approaches, defensive sectors, and value companies. So that's going to be one thing, point of emphasis that I'm gonna have for myself. One thing that I would encourage, anyone that is listening, watching this video, definitely look at extracting value, because it's not just about being able to make money in a bull market, but can you make money in a bear market when the things just hit the fan and there's just panic, and I think you want to be able to be calm in those situations and already have things in place. So it's about getting prepared now before it even happens. When I think about crypto, as far as my outlook for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think those are going to tend to be the dominant players. I still also like Cardano. I like Chainlink. I like a lot of the Metaverse tokens with Sandbox and Decentraland. And I think that each market is going to take a pushback. I think crypto market, I can see them having a volatile year as well as commodities. I think commodities are going to, even though commodities didn't do as well this year when you compare them to like the stock market and crypto. But I think that everything is going to take a hit, including crypto, but that just provides opportunity for you to be able to get in at a discount and ride that wave, all the way up. I think that with cryptocurrency, I think we are going to see more people. We're going to see more institutions getting involved with buying Bitcoin. I think that more companies are going to come out wanting to put it on its balance sheet, and creating products and services where investors can invest in this space. Because I think that, crypto, it provides a lot of opportunities for all of us to have more financial independence and not depending on a system that has decentralized aspects to it. And I think that when you think about Ethereum, when you look at Solana, these DeFi protocols are only going to continue to evolve. And I want to find ways to lend out my crypto where I can actually earn interest. Some kind of things that I wanted to come on here and talk with you guys before the year is up. And I hope you all, have a blessed new year. Definitely continue to like, subscribe, and share this video. Continue to share this amongst your family and friends. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Insightful Principles, and take care.